Good morning. I want to ask you to forgive me for the analogy that I'm about to give you, because it's a little bit different. If you don't like sports at all, it's not going to make any sense. Well, it probably still will make sense to you. But if you don't like it, know that it's a really good analogy that has a lot of impact. So forgive me for that, all right? I was recently reading an article, and it was actually about hockey players and how the greatest hockey players in the world, so they have these skills that are unsurpassed, that are far beyond other skills, how they were developed later in their career. That we assume these athletes, whether it's whoever it is, okay, it doesn't matter the sport, pick a sport that you like, and notice that their careers, what happens later in their careers is they become really good at a few things that they weren't good at the start of their careers. They were okay at, and they become magnificent at it later on. And this is why I'm sharing this with you. So much of the time, we believe that youth is where it's at. That if we're young, then we've got everything that we need in life. And that's absolutely 100% false. The older you get, the more wisdom you have the ability to disseminate, to help other people with, and to experience in your own life, that you can apply in your own life. People who are young, and I'm not discrediting people who are young, okay? I consider myself fairly young. I'm 40 as of this video, okay? But people who are really young, they don't have enough life experience to really make the most out of future experiences. They don't have the longevity. So they make the same mistakes that other generations make in their 20s and early 30s. And there's actually, I read a research book, it was an entire book dedicated to this, on how GDP takes place in a nation, and how people before they're 35 years old, about 35 years old, are basically useless to a nation, economically. Because they don't add enough value, they don't have enough experience. In language, so many people think about when you're young, you've got all this ability to learn languages and have all this going for you. And that's false. People in their later life can learn language far faster than people who are 2 or 3 or 4 years old. That's a fact. And I've researched this a lot. I've worked on this myself. You can learn languages far faster because you've got all this knowledge base. If you ask my kid how to conjugate verbs, my son will ask you, are you speaking English? He doesn't know about that stuff. And so he intuitively puts things together. But we've got this massive information that we can put things together, sentence structures and understanding things that we can pull apart and learn so much faster. So here's my encouragement for you this morning. My encouragement for you this morning is, if you're a little bit older, if you're a little more mature, what I'm going to encourage you to do is start relying on that life experience that you have and create wisdom out of it, learn from it, and grow from it, because you can grow very, very quickly. If you're questioning whether you have enough time left, don't worry about how much time you got left. Most people that were worrying about that are young enough that they can have 2, 3, 4 decades left in life. Don't worry too much about that. What you want to focus on is, what kind of experiences I have, what can I learn from it, and how does that add value? How can I develop this skill set later in life that is far surpasses what young people, what they're capable of. And if you're young and you're watching this, what I want to encourage you to do is chase after growth. Learn, grow skills. So many people that are young go, oh, well, I've got everything. You don't have everything you need. You are still growing. You're still learning, and that's fantastic. But take the time, because most of you have a crazy amount of time left. Take that time and utilize it to grow yourself and become the kind of person that when you're 35, 45, 55, 65, you are so useful to this planet. Take encouragement from this. I'm not going to give you a huge action step. I simply wanted to encourage you wherever you're at. Change your perception, because this world sees people as getting over the hill when they're 40. I'm 40. I'm young. I haven't even come into my own yet. I'm going to start making things happen when I'm 50 that far surpass things that I did before. That's the start of my journey. That's when I start investing in people on a completely different level, because I have enough life experience. And I'm not saying that I don't have any life experience now. I'm not saying that if you're 20, you don't have anything to offer. That's not what I'm saying. But you have so much more if you invest that life experience in the wisdom that it takes to apply knowledge. My dad always said, and I appreciate this more and more as I become more mature, he said, wisdom is the practical application of knowledge. You've got some knowledge, you've got some life experience, fantastic. That doesn't mean very much on its own. Start applying it. And you can do amazing things even today.